Thank you. And so, hello everyone. My name is Carmen Avila, and I am a recruiter for Drake University. Probably never heard of us, but we are located out in Des Moines, Iowa. So look us up. But here, just kind of talking a little bit more about what is a liberal arts institution. What does that mean? Starting off with a myth, it is nothing to do with the political stance on conservative versus liberal. It's nothing with that. I just wanted to knock that first myth out real quick. But liberal arts really means that that institution has a very broad approach to their studies. You certainly go there with an intent to focus on a major, but across the board, you are getting exposure across focusing on the humanities, the social sciences, math. You're still taking STEM-based courses, stuff like that, but you're getting a very broad approach to your education. Another thing that's very common and found with a liberal arts education is that you are prepared with very important soft and social skills. So communication, critical thinking, collaboration, getting those creative ideas. These are things that are really a big emphasis in the liberal arts school. So going to that broad education that we really highlight on, you are getting skills that should be transferable no matter what career that you may pursue. This is what leadership superiors are kind of looking for in team environments, looking for people who can take initiative, be the social leaders. That's kind of really what the skills are that we're trying to prepare students for. It helps a student to take what they're passionate about. Again, that major, your area that you are focused in and really interested in pursuing, but learning how this area affects different areas in the world. You're not just focusing in on business, and this is what it takes to run a business, but also how that business is a movement and I was going to say tuition, but that's not the word that I'm looking for. But an economy, you're creating something in your community that you are starting your business. Trying to learn again how it translates to multiple areas. Is typically undergraduate research available. So again, a liberal arts school, that doesn't mean that there are not STEM programs on these campuses. That doesn't mean that there are research opportunities happening. They're definitely happening on those campuses. They're probably not as large scale as what you're going to find at some of these tier 1 research schools that Nyan was talking about. But there is current opportunities for students who are interested in those fields to still get a very hands-on, liberal focused education. There's more flexibility with your degree as well. We're seeing, more people are coming in with this generation that one track is not going to fit them, right? They have area interest in multiple avenues. So a degree at a liberal arts is typically going to be very flexible. And what that means is that if you are interested in multiple areas, they're going to work with you to try and create a unique degree that is fit to what it is that you're wanting to accomplish. Now, not to say that you can't get this at your larger public or schools, things like that, but it is a little bit easier. You have the faculty there that are more prepared to kind of help create something that's unique built by a student. They have the manpower and the time to do that. And so that's something that's really wonderful for students. As I said, they're looking for what is available to me outside of just this one track that is going to get me to the degree that I want to pursue, but what else is out there waiting for me? I'm just finding more and more that people are making career changes. 10 years into your career, you might be feeling a change, or 3 years into your career, and you say, well, maybe this is not as what I was going to be. And so those skills that you have are translating across multiple areas. And then strong ties to community service and support. This is very common of a liberal arts school where they have a strong tie to service to the community they're in, and also their community on campus. So just things that I find personally important to you that you're looking for, and universities also might still have some of those personal beliefs. But for time, just kind of rolling into what are some of the benefits of being a liberal arts school. Again, thinking, am I going to have a job? Am I going to be prepared for a career that I'm interested in post-graduation? Again, that interdisciplinary approach to learning. We are really aiming for a global, current, open view type of an education so that you are accustomed to working with several points of views, and you're able to see a problem, analyze it from multiple areas because you have a very broad education, and you're able to analyze problems and come up with solutions from a different perspective, versus peers who go to those, very heavy STEM track schools. You learn, typically, yeah, there are smaller classes and smaller universities. So if you're someone who maybe is intimidated at the idea of 58,000 students. That's how big the school was that I used to work for. You kind of maybe intimidates you. You want something a little bit smaller. That's what you're going to find with liberal arts. Interactive classes, they have that very much collaborative learning environment. It's not so much lecture style, but in group settings and the professor being very engaged with the class. There'll be very few teaching assistants, if any at all, teaching those classes. Strong alumni relations. Typically with these schools, these smaller universities have a bit more tight-knit community, and alum that are very active and engaged with the current students, providing networking opportunities for internships. So again, knocking another myth out that going to liberal arts school means that you're going in the middle of nowhere and you're just getting your education and then getting out. But it does kind of prepare you for jobs that haven't been created before. The world is changing and evolving very quickly. Jobs that didn't exist 20 years ago are kind of taking over the market in some areas, and we don't know where we'll be in 20 years. But giving you those critical thinking skills and the preparation to be quick on your feet is preparing you for whatever your future holds for you that you maybe aren't even aware of yet. So I'm going to stop right there and hand it back over to Josephine for some great prepared questions.